Lincoln pennies are some of the most collected coins in the United States. And while most 2022 pennies are only worth a single cent, some era coins from this year can sell for hundreds of dollars. Today, we're going to explore the most popular 2022 Lincoln penny errors, what they look like, and just how much they can be worth.
Download Coin Value Checker and start scanning your coins now.
Die clash error. One of the most fascinating errors is the die clash. This happens when the obverse and reverse dies strike each other without a blank planchet in between. The result? Traces of the reverse shield design appear faintly behind Lincoln's portrait. On some 2022 pennies, you can clearly see lines or shapes on Lincoln's shoulder that shouldn't be there. Collectors love these because they tell a story of what happened inside the mint. A normal 2022 penny is just 1 cent, but an uncirculated die clash error can sell for around $40 or more depending on how dramatic the clash is. Extra V error. Another collector favorite is the extra V error. On the front of the penny, just under Lincoln's shoulder, are the designer's initials VDB, for Victor David Brenner. But on some 2022 pennies, it looks like there's an extra little V next to the initials. It's subtle, but once you see it, it's impossible to miss. This variety adds a quirky twist to a modern coin, and collectors are willing to pay for it. Depending on condition, these pennies often sell for $30 to $45. Struck through error. Next is the struck through error. This happens when debris, dust, or even small metal shavings fall between the die and the blank coin. The debris gets pressed into the design, leaving behind unusual marks. One dramatic example from 2022 shows what looks like a bullet hole in Lincoln's head, which collectors quickly nicknamed the Lincoln assassination penny. Errors like this are highly collectible for their uniqueness, with most selling for $18 to $20, but unusual designs can go higher. Double die error. One of the most popular errors in coin collecting is the doubled die. This happens during die creation when the design is imprinted onto the die more than once at slightly different angles. On 2022 pennies, doubling is often spotted in the words 1 cent and United States of America on the reverse. It gives the lettering a fuzzy, doubled look that stands out immediately once you know what to look for. Doubled dies have been famous throughout history, like the 1955 double die cent, and the 2022 version follows that tradition. Circulated examples usually sell for $20 to $25, while uncirculated pieces can reach $50 or more. Die crack error. Another error that collectors chase is the die crack. Dies used to strike coins wear out over time, and sometimes they actually crack. When that cracked die strikes a coin, it leaves behind raised lines or breaks on the penny's surface. On 2022 D pennies, some dramatic die cracks appear across the shield design on the reverse. Most die crack pennies only sell for a few dollars, but really bold ones can command big prices. In fact, one particularly sharp 2022 D die crack penny sold for nearly $390 at auction. Missing lettering error. One rare but very eye-catching 2022 penny error is missing lettering. This usually happens when grease builds up inside the die, blocking part of the design. On these coins, words like United States of America on the reverse shield may be partly missing or completely faded. Since lettering is such an important part of the coin, collectors pay close attention to these errors. Depending on how much of the inscription is missing, these pennies can bring as much as $375. So, while most 2022 pennies are worth just 1 cent, error coins can sell for dozens, hundreds, or even $500. From die clashes and doubled dies to missing lettering and defective plating, these mistakes make the 2022 penny one of the most interesting modern coins to collect. Always keep an eye on your pocket change, you never know when a penny might be worth a fortune.